stopped posting bikini photos on my Instagram and I took them all off just because it was literally attracting the wrong type of people that I wasn't interested in.
Bam.
That's something I can agree. Stop posting cleavage, literally anything. I just wouldn't post because I didn't like the type of dudes that it was attracting to my page.
A woman can only be objectified if she objectifies herself first. A man cannot objectify you unless you objectify yourself first. They did an experiment with this, right? They had the girl walking around in New York City, one dressed somewhat provocatively, another one dressed in a hijab. Though the girl that was dressed in a hijab got harassed, she got harassed significantly less than the girl that was dressed in Western clothing. There's a reason why every civilization since the beginning of time have done everything they could to control female sexuality and make women dress more conservatively. From the Amish all the way to the Muslims to the ancient Chinese, etc. They've done this because they know that female sexuality is very powerful. And they know that men, when they see women objectify themselves, objectify them in return. What happens when a woman's objectified? They don't respect her.
Women objectify themselves. There is a difference between society objectifying women and women objectifying themselves. When I was in high school, I was taught that women should live up to standards that certain men in society are not expected to live up to. Women are used to wearing makeup, dressing well and acting a certain way, otherwise they wouldn't be accepted. I've heard of women being sexualized in commercials to increase sales, and of them appearing in unrealistic scenes in heavy makeup on TV shows and movies. It's about setting an unrealistic standard for young girls and creating an unrealistic standard for our society. Turning now to the objectification of women, I want to start with the concept of objectification, the act of reducing someone to a mere object. So that means our society devalues them and uses them as items for multiple purposes. An example might be increasing sales. However, to say that we objectify women as a society is to say that women objectify themselves, unless we accept that men are responsible for the objectification of women. This means that because men are not women, we put them in ads or other positions for specific purposes that demean others. This purpose is mainly to make money. From this we can conclude that in this case men somehow coerce or manipulate women to demean themselves and become objects of social desire. Now comes the tricky part. Men and women are equally capable of coercing someone from an illegal vantage point. Sure, we can raise child slaves to be our future models, or we can threaten to murder someone's family if they don't show up in our ads in their underwear. We can't look at it from that perspective, because almost anyone can enforce anything through illegal means, which brings us to the idea that men objectify women in a legal sense. The argument for men coercing women becomes convoluted. How exactly do men force women to objectify themselves? For example, men can pay women for their appearance and possibly demeaning behavior in media such as film, television, drama, pornography, and advertising. In this case, however, it will not be men who coerce women, but women who consciously choose to appear in these media. This is an interesting revelation. Regardless, if the media objectifies women by allowing them to play such roles in the media, society as a whole goes into a cycle of ignorance. This will set the standard for women to unknowingly assume these compromised roles. However, in my experience, women are told that they become objectified in high school. High school graduation is required by law in most countries, which means women should know they are being placed in these degrading positions and still appear on these media sites. This is where the theory that men demean women starts to break down. We found that men were unable to coerce women into these degrading positions, and women were aware of putting themselves in these degrading positions. So blaming men for the objectification of women is wrong. The only people who can legally deport women are the women themselves for appearing in media they know is degrading. Now, a counter-argument is that if women don't play by the rules of society, they can't have careers. However, this is a blatant lie, as anyone can legally produce this media. If women choose not to appear in so-called degrading positions, women will no longer be objectified by the media in which they appear, thereby setting an example for other women. But judging by the women, who appear half-naked, are clearly trying to use their bodies as products, dancing alongside celebrities in music videos. Women have different goals in life and see themselves as a means to an end. Women set the standard for women, not men. Men don't dress up as women to boost sales, and say most women are ignorant, unaware that they're actually ignorant for putting themselves in a compromising position. It is women who objectify themselves, not men. Everyone says men objectify themselves, but women generally prefer to dress slimmer than men. Women generally choose more sexual activities than men. It's a woman's fault to be her own woman. In the West, as in any other society, women have the most freedom, but many of them complain that TV commercials, music and billboards objectify women because of their bodies. Ironically, when the most patriarchal countries in the world tend to do the opposite to their wives, they often blame the men for letting them cover up to extremes most of the time, like the Middle East. When you see Nicki Minaj shaking her big fat ass in front of the camera in the West, a guy doesn't force her to do it. She made it herself. If you see Emily Ratajkowski dancing nude in a music video, it's her choice. So is every porn star, stripper, bikini model, and musical artist. Men are not to be blamed. Who are you? Women put themselves in a demeaning position and set an example for other women. Men just use this image given by women as a means to an end. Mainly money. That's all about manhood today. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and hit the notification bell to be the first to know when I post a new video. Until next time, applause.